Mankind has solved most of the mysteries and the riddle of the universe. The secret is balance in the relationship between the sun and the earth. Balance in ourselves. Balance between man and woman. Balance between the relationships between each family and each tribe and each country. Balance in the world. Our world. Balance between positive and negative, light and dark, good and evil. Balance in the force, the color, the vibration, whatever you want to call it. The realization is that we are not separate and we are all one. The answer is love. Balance is love. Love is also chaos. God is love.
But let's forget about all that for a second. What's the secret to comedy? A question that has been asked since the beginning of time. A question that mankind, or humankind, has yet to explain. We think we know inherently in our subconscious minds why things are funny, but for some reason, we have been having a little bit of trouble explaining it ourselves. That's because we're thinking about it all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, the question isn't what is the secret to comedy, rather, what is the reason why we laugh?
Yeah!
Physical humor. Now, what defines... Oh, you fucking cunt! Now, why was that funny?
That's it.
I'll tell you why. The reason it was funny is because of... Oh, the reason it was funny is...
The reason it's funny is because he's feeling pain, and while I'm not, I win, he loses. It ties right directly into competition. We laugh at others' pain because we empathize with them. Simultaneously, we know what it's like to feel pain. But we're also happy that the person feeling that pain is not us. Thus, the laughter. It comes from an oh!
Now, there's not all bad things to comedy, if that's what you're thinking now. There are positives, all right? Even the physical humor. For example, in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, Jim Carrey is stuck inside of a giant robotic rhino, and the only way out is through the rhino's backside. Now, as ridiculous as this sounds, most people would find this funny. Now, the reason this is funny is because it's out of the ordinary. No one has ever seen anything like this before. It's original, it's new, it's weird, it's different. But there's also a bad side to this comedy. We're all feeling good about ourselves while Jim Carrey is struggling coming out of the rhino's anus. We're like, oh, if I had to be in that situation, I would be mad. But since I'm not, it's hilarious, it's funny, and it's not me. I win. Now, when it comes to physical humor, we also feel empathy. And, it comes all from connections. Now, connections of things is what makes the jokes make sense. When we figure out why it's funny or we figure out the meaning of the joke, it makes us feel more smarter about it. And the person telling the joke sees you laugh, laughs as well, and you're respecting each other's intelligence by both understanding the joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Oh, I fucked up.
Now, when someone doesn't understand the joke and you tell it, and you have to explain it to them, the person starts to feel bad about himself because he feels stupid, and then you start to feel like, oh man, this guy is stupid, I have to explain a fucking joke. And it just ruins everything.
Get it? I was saying banana. Get it? Oh.
And people also laugh even though they don't get the joke. And then we call them out on it, and they're like, well, I thought I would be lame if I didn't laugh.
I like Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Man versus woman. Okay, so basically the core of comedy in the comedy world is actually the psyche of the male mind. Pretty much everything in the world is psyche of the male mind because men enforce they put their you know their brute force in everything. They want to control everything. They basically men they dominate the entire world, but their influence and that's why most comedy is geared towards a man's sense of humor. This is part of the reason men and women they actually have two very different senses of humor. In fact, their sense of humor are pretty much opposites in a lot of cases. An action that may make a man laugh out loud not only may offend a woman, it could make her angry, in turn making it even funnier to the man. Because the truth is, a lot of men get happier when they make a woman uncomfortable, therefore dominating them. It's off balance, but it's how this animalistic part of ourselves comes out. For example, a fart. Most men find a fart pretty funny. The sound of bizarre this disturbs the monotony of the everyday life. The smell is gross and different every time. The whole concept of fart and how it ties into the butt and poop is, for some reason, very funny to men. Most women get pissed off when a guy farts. The woman will make an upset face upon smelling the gas and attempt to wave the gas out of her face, and they even say things like, "That's not funny, it's gross, please stop." This just fuels the man's laughter and sense of humor even more, making it even funnier to him and other men, making them laugh more. They enjoy the gas, men. They enjoy the discomfort it's caused the woman, quite honestly. Generates laughter. Now notice how often some men will say they almost enjoy the smell of their own farts, but not another man's fart. This ties into familiarity, relativity, and the selfish gene in mankind, which we will explore a little bit later.
Now, there's something to do with balance in comedy. How if something is not well balanced, it becomes funny. As such as the movie Back to the Future. And yes, I'm going to mention Back to the Future because I mentioned Back to the Future. Now, Back to the Future is about this man named Marty McFly who goes back in time to find his father being bullied by Biff Tannen, thus making George McFly a funny nerd and Marty McFly's mother a funny drunk alcoholic. But when Marty went back in time, he changed the course of history, making George McFly jealous that Biff pushed his girlfriend down, making him confident enough to punch Biff in the face, making him more confident in the future. Evidently, the movie wasn't really funny at the end because of how balanced the relationships were, but it drove a good point. It got the message out. But what about when something is, too balanced? People believe that it's more funny when two people agree with everything, such as Bill and Ted. How they would agree with everything, they would never fight, and they would just get along.
Excellent!
Hey, how you doing, Jojo? You know what? You're really fat. Just kidding. You're not really fat, but you are a little bit bigger than me. But I didn't mean anything by that. See, just kidding is a really weird area of comedy. It's a gray area. It's a slippery slope. For example, what's it called? The girl that's in the movie Hunger Games?
Yeah.
The lead actress.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Well, think of it. Jennifer. Well, anyway, I had sex with her in California.
Really?
Just kidding.
Oh, that was just a fucking lie.
Exactly. Just kidding is either someone being mean and saying something like that mean, like you're heavy set, even though that's not. But that makes you better than me because you're stronger than me because you're bigger. But that's a side point. But also, just kidding, or also known as just joking, or I am fucking with you, is a way to basically when someone lies, they just say just kidding afterwards. I can't really make much sense of it.
Oh, like you look really cool in that beard.
Do you like
just
the beard?
Kidding.
So you don't like the beard?
Well,
Wait.
No, not really.
All right. Well, whatever. Just kidding. you need to use this.
Now, when you're usually just kidding, you're trying to not look like a liar. Like, if you're openly offending somebody and you want to get it out of your chest by saying it, and not really offend them, but make them subconsciously know it, you say, hey, you're an asshole. Just kidding.
Hey, this apple's magic. Take
Yeah.
a bite of it.
Ooh.
Take a bite. Just kidding, it's poison!
Just kidding is not a form of comedy. Just kidding isn't joking. It's a horrible way of lying. It's lying and trying to lie about lying. That's what the fuck it is. Why do evil villains laugh? Like, are they even happy people?
Well, they do say that people that are laughing that are happier, but it always seems to be when the evil villain is about to win and they're about to get the good guy to fall for their evil trap. That's when they start to laugh. Okay, so here we have the final battle in the Return of the Jedi. Good versus evil, father versus son. And there we have the Emperor, who's basically embodies pure evil, pure Satan, who's laughing as he has the evilness is taken over. Even though Darth Vader is bad, they're both being bad because he's gotten them both to fight. So ultimately, even though Luke is fighting for positiveness, he's still fighting, which is wrong. And now he's decided, I'm not going to fight. But he's laughing, the evil Emperor.
The whole time. But Luke also has to realize that there has to be balance between what you can and cannot do. He can't let Vader kill him. He has to defend himself. If Vader does try to kill him, he's going to have to fight him. Either way, he's just defending himself. He doesn't want to fight. And he's trying to convince his father that there shouldn't be fighting. As you can see, Luke's not trying to hit him.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's trying to hit him. All Luke is doing is blocking his hits.
So you may be wondering, how does this connect to the science of laughter? This is a very serious, dramatic scene in a science fiction movie. Well, we have the evil Emperor laughing as he sees evil winning this battle. The laughter that he is displaying is not real joy laughter. What we discovered through all this is it's a fake laugh.
It's an artificial happiness.
He's mimicking what he sees happy people do in order to trick them. Okay? So, is he happy? No. Is he covering something up with his laughing? Yes. Maybe he's covering up how truly sad and depressed and full of fear and doubt he really is. Right?
Right. He's probably had some problems that he needs to face it himself, that he's taking out on other people, trying to make other people feel as bad as him, trying to have control, trying to have power to make himself feel better about himself.
But it never really makes him feel better.
No, it just makes him feel even worse because of what he's doing to other people and how he experiences these connections with these people, but he would still do these fucked up things to people and get them to fight. Father and son, family fighting.
So see, the father's really thinking now long and hard about all his decisions he's made along the way. Because remember, the way Darth Vader became evil was because he got jealous that Obi-Wan Kenobi was hanging out with Princess Amidala or whatever. He thought that they were hooking up, but they really weren't. But ultimately, that jealousy enraged him and made him evil for so many years. Until, if you know this story, you know that by the end, he does return to the good side of the Force, and he becomes positive, and the evil Emperor stops laughing.
Because the Emperor has lost the battle of good and evil.
And that's how good and evil ties into the science of laughter.
Is complete. If you will not turn to the dark.
Now, this is where Darth Vader finally makes his final decision on whether or not he's going to either choose the dark side or the good side. And apparently, in the end, Darth Vader came to his natural senses because everybody realizes the balance between good and evil is always good to be good, no matter how evil you can be. But looks like it's a little too late for the Emperor to realize that for himself, because he's dead.
Whoa.
If you guys enjoyed the video of the Science of Laughter, then you would enjoy the podcast of the Science of Laughter. So be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes!